If you're already 70 years old, how should you live the rest of your life? We live in a time when people are living longer than ever before. Reaching 90 is no longer unusual. Some people even reach 100. That sounds wonderful. But here is what quietly worries me. Too many people over 70 become trapped by a single belief. They believe that living longer matters more than living well. They stop enjoying food. They ignore pleasure. They push their bodies even when pain is clearly saying stop. They take pill after pill, year after year. Not because they feel better, but because they are afraid of dying. Many people do not even realize when this happens. It happens slowly. You start saying no to food you enjoy. You tell yourself rest is dangerous. You believe that slowing down means giving up. For most of our lives, we were taught the same lesson. After 70, you must be careful. You must avoid unhealthy food. You must follow strict routines. You must keep pushing forward. But here is the truth very few people talk about. After age 70, many of these rules begin to work against the body. What once helped you stay healthy can quietly begin to harm you. Today, there are 5 major changes that happen to almost everyone after 70. They are not rare. They are not warnings. They are certainties. One of these changes decides something very important. Whether your later years are spent living independently or slowly losing control of your daily life. It does not matter how healthy you were at 50. It does not matter how active you were at 60. These changes arrive quietly, and they arrive for nearly everyone. The good news is this. Once you understand what is happening, you can stop fighting your body and begin working with it. One of the first changes people notice shows up at night. Sleep no longer feels the same after 70. Many older adults go to bed early. Hopping rest will come easily. But instead, the night breaks apart. They wake up at midnight. Then again a few hours later. Then once more before morning. By the time the sun rises, their body feels heavy and tired. But sleep refuses to return. This is not caused by bad habits. It is not a lack of discipline. It is not weakness. After 70, the brain produces far less deep sleep. This is the stage of sleep that repairs the body, protects memory, and restores strength. As deep sleep fades, rest becomes light and fragile. At the same time, the body makes less melatonin. This hormone helps keep sleep steady through the night. With less of it, the brain wakes more easily. That is why so many people over 70 find themselves awake in the early morning hours, staring at the ceiling, even though their body feels exhausted. The internal body clock also shifts. Sleep comes earlier in the evening. Morning arrives earlier than expected. Sleep becomes broken into pieces. Some people try to fight this change. They force themselves to stay awake longer. They lie in bed feeling frustrated and tense. That tension makes sleep even worse. Over time, nights become restless. Days become filled with fatigue. Many people begin to believe something is wrong with them. But this is not failure. It is change. And the mistake most people make is trying to live the same way they did before. Because while broken sleep is frustrating, something else is already beginning to change inside the body. quietly and without warning. As difficult as broken sleep can be, it is only the beginning. Another change starts happening quietly after 70. It does not announce itself. It does not cause pain at first, but it can become dangerous very quickly. After 70, the body slowly loses its ability to control temperature. For most of your life, this system worked automatically. You felt hot, so you cooled down. You felt cold, so you warmed up. You never had to think about it. But after 70, the brain areas that manage body temperature do not respond the same way anymore. The body becomes less accurate at sensing heat and cold. That is why you may feel cold when everyone else feels fine, or why a warm afternoon suddenly leaves you weak, dizzy, or drained. Sweating also changes. The body produces less sweat, and it does so more slowly. Once you get too hot, cooling down becomes much harder. At the same time, blood flow no longer adjusts properly. The body struggles to send warmth to the hands and feet in cold weather. It also struggles to release heat. When temperatures rise, another quiet change happens under the skin. The protective fat layer becomes thinner. This removes an important barrier that once helped protect the body from temperature extremes. But the most dangerous part of all is not the change itself. It is the loss of warning signs. After 70, many people no longer feel thirsty, even when their body needs water. They may not shiver strongly when cold. They may not feel overheated until confusion or weakness appears. This is why serious temperature-related problems increase so sharply later in life. People often say the same thing afterward. I didn't feel hot. I didn't feel cold. I thought I was fine. One older man spent hours working in his garage. On a cool day, the temperature did not feel uncomfortable to him, so he kept going. By evening, his body temperature had dropped dangerously low. He became confused and unsteady. He did not understand what was happening until he was taken to the hospital. Later, he said something that should concern everyone over 70. I had no idea my body was in trouble. That is the real danger. After 70, the body cannot always be trusted to send clear signals. Relying only on how you feel is no longer enough. The environment becomes more important than sensation. Room temperature matters more. Clothing choices matter more. Hydration matters more. Not because you feel uncomfortable, but because your body needs protection. Many older adults slowly learn this lesson. They stop trusting feelings alone. They begin checking temperatures. They drink water on a schedule, not just when thirst appears. This change can feel unsettling. It means the body you understood for decades now behaves differently. And while temperature problems can become dangerous quickly, there is another change happening even more slowly. It does not send you to the hospital right away. It works silently, day after day. It affects how food moves through your body, how meals feel afterward, and how much energy you have left. When the plate is empty, many people blame themselves for it. They think their body is failing because they did something wrong. But in reality, this change begins the same way. For almost everyone after 70, this next change does not happen overnight. It works slowly, quietly, and steadily. After 70, the digestive system begins to slow down. For most of your life, eating was simple. You felt hungry. You ate. Your body handled the rest. But after 70, many people notice that meals no longer feel the same. Food seems to sit longer. The stomach feels heavy. Bloating becomes common. Energy fades soon after eating. This is not imagination. After 70, the muscles that move food through the digestive tract lose strength and coordination. Swallowing, which once happened automatically, now requires more effort. Saliva production also decreases. This matters more than most people realize. Saliva starts digestion. It helps break food down before it even reaches the stomach. With less saliva, digestion becomes harder. From the very first bite, inside the stomach, another change occurs. The stomach produces less acid than before. This acid is not just for comfort. It breaks down protein. It helps absorb important nutrients. It protects the body from harmful bacteria. With less acid, food stays in the stomach longer. Proteins are harder to digest. Important vitamins and minerals are absorbed less efficiently. Further along, the intestines slow as well. The small intestine becomes less effective at absorbing nutrients from food. Even when meals are healthy, the body may not receive everything it needs. The large intestine also slows. Food takes much longer to move through. This leads to constipation, discomfort, and a constant feeling of fullness. Many people over 70 say the same thing. I used to eat anything. Now even small meals cause problems. This change often creates confusion and frustration. People start avoiding meals. They eat less. They lose weight without trying. Others do the opposite. They keep eating the same way they always did. Hoping the problem will pass. But the discomfort continues. Energy drops. Weakness becomes more noticeable. Simple daily tasks feel harder. What makes this change especially difficult is that it feels personal. People think something is wrong with them. They blame themselves for eating the wrong foods or not being careful enough. But this slowdown is not a personal failure. It is a normal shift that happens inside nearly every body after 70. The digestive system simply moves more slowly than it used to. This means the body needs food to be handled differently. Large meals become harder to manage. Heavy foods stay longer in the stomach. Digestion demands more energy than before. When digestion struggles, the rest of the body feels it. Muscles feel weaker. Balance feels less steady. Fatigue appears more quickly. And this leads to another serious problem. When energy drops and weakness increases, the body becomes less stable. Small missteps become more likely. Standing up feels less secure. Walking feels less automatic. Many people do not connect these changes to digestion, but they are closely linked. Because when the body cannot process food efficiently, it cannot maintain strength the same way. And as strength slowly fades, the risk of falling quietly rises. Most people do not notice this connection until something sudden happens. A missed step, a moment of dizziness, a fall that changes everything. And that is when many people realize that something deeper has been changing. inside their body all along. For many people after 70, the first serious warning does not come from pain. It comes from a fall. Often it feels sudden. One moment you are standing. The next you are on the floor. Many people say the same thing afterward. I don't know what happened. I've walked that way 1,000 times. This is because balance begins to change quietly after 70. For most of your life, balance worked without thought. Your body adjusted automatically. Your feet knew where the ground was. Your brain reacted instantly. After 70, several systems that control balance begin to weaken at the same time. Inside the inner ear, tiny structures help your brain understand movement and position. With age, these signals become weaker and slower. At the same time, the sensors in your muscles and joints lose sensitivity. These sensors tell your brain where your body is in space. When they weaken, your body becomes less certain of its position. Vision also changes. Depth perception is not as sharp. Edges are harder to judge. Low light becomes more dangerous. But the most serious change happens inside the brain itself. After 70, the brain takes longer to process balance information. Even when a problem is detected, the response comes too late. A small stumble that once corrected itself now turns into a fall. Fear makes this worse. After one fall or near fall, many people become tense and cautious. Muscles stiffen. Movements become less natural. This tension actually increases the risk of falling again. It becomes a cycle. One fall leads to fear. Fear leads to stiffness. Stiffness leads to another fall. And the consequences can be life-changing. A broken hip, a long hospital stay, months of recovery. For some people, full independence never returns. Many older adults say the same thing. I was fine before the fall. And that is often true. The fall is not the beginning of the problem. It is the moment the problem becomes visible. Before that moment, balance has been slowly changing for years. Strength has been quietly fatting. Reaction time has been slowing. Most people do not notice these changes day to day. But the body feels them. Standing up becomes harder. Turning quickly feels less stable. Walking on uneven ground feels risky. Some people start avoiding movement. They sit more. They walk less. This feels safer. But it creates another hidden danger. When movement decreases, muscles weaken even faster. Balance depends on strength, and strength depends on movement. As muscles fade, balance suffers even more. And this leads to the most serious change of all. Because beneath all of these problems, something fundamental is happening inside the body. The tissue that gives you strength, power, and independence is quietly disappearing. And once it is gone, getting it back becomes very difficult. Most people do not realize this until simple tasks feel impossible. Standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, catching yourself before a fall. These abilities depend on one thing, and that thing is already changing. By the time most people notice this final change, it has already been happening for years. After 70, the body begins to lose muscle at a faster and more dangerous rate. This loss is quiet. It does not cause pain at first. It does not come with clear warnings. But it affects everything. Muscle is not just about strength. It is what allows you to stand up from a chair, climb stairs, carry groceries, catch yourself before a fall. After 70, the body starts breaking down muscle, even when you are eating enough food. This happens because muscles stop responding the way they once did. Protein does not build muscle as easily. Exercise does not restore strength the same way. The body slowly begins to use its own muscle for energy. This is why weakness appears, even in people who feel they are doing everything right. Arms feel thinner. Legs feel less powerful. Simple movements feel heavier. Fast muscle fibers disappear first. These are the muscles that help you react quickly. They help you regain balance. They help you stand up fast. When they fade, falls become harder to prevent. Hormones that once protected muscle drop sharply with age. At the same time, inflammation inside the body increases. This creates an environment where muscle breaks down faster than it can be rebuilt. Even short periods of rest can cause serious loss. A few days in bed, a short illness, a brief hospital stay. After 70, the body may lose muscle quickly and struggle to regain it. Many people are shocked by this. They say, "I was strong before. I didn't expect this." But this change is not about effort or discipline. It is a biological process that affects nearly everyone. The danger is not knowing about it. Because without muscle, independence slowly slips away. Daily tasks require help. Movement becomes limited. Confidence fades. But here is the part that matters most. Knowing what is happening changes everything. When you understand these changes, you stop blaming yourself. You stop fighting your body. You start adapting. You begin to protect sleep instead of forcing it. You manage temperature instead of trusting broken signals. You eat in a way your digestion can handle. You move carefully but consistently. You support muscle instead of ignoring its loss. These changes do not reverse aging. They do something far more important. They preserve independence. They protect quality of life. They allow you to live your later years with strength, clarity, and dignity. Aging is not a failure. It is a process. Suffering does not have to be part of it. The difference between struggling after 70 and living well after 70 is not luck. It is understanding. It is preparation. It is working with your body instead of fighting against it. If this information helped you understand what is really happening after 70, please like this video and subscribe. Your support helps us continue sharing content that truly matters. And remember this: growing older is unavoidable, but losing your life to fear and confusion does not have to be. You still have more control than you think.